Climate change is everybody's business, and it's clearer than ever that the climate crisis is worsening and it's the single biggest threat to sustainable development everywhere.
It requires urgent action and a collective effort to mitigate its impacts and adapt to its effect.
By working together and embracing innovative solutions, we can create a more resilient and sustainable future for all.
Despite global efforts to address the issue of climate change, it is clear that the governments are not doing enough to combat this pressing issue, and it is more important than ever for us to step in and take action.
As the next generation, students have a crucial role to play in developing sustainable solutions to address the impacts of climate change by harnessing their creativity, ingenuity, and entrepreneurial spirit.
At Enactus King's College London, our focus is on sustainable production, consumption, and well-being of humanity. We believe in the power of social entrepreneurship to drive change and leave a positive impact.
We're a group of 40 international entrepreneurs running 6 impactful projects across 3 countries that are tackling a variety of social, environmental, and economic issues.
With students from all over the world, we have been able to spot opportunities in their home countries where we can work together with local people to change lives.
Our projects, Eco and Nexicath, embody the spirit of innovation and sustainability as we work to develop solutions that address the challenges of climate change and promote social impact.
Refugee women in the UK are faced with multiple barriers to employment, including language barriers, lack of qualifications, and discrimination. As a result, many of these women are unable to find meaningful employment and are forced to rely on government support.
Reflecting on the UK employment market, only 45% of refugee women get into employment, in comparison to a 72% female UK employment rate. There's a greater sense of urgency now as a recession looms over our economy, making them more vulnerable to the cost of living crisis.
At Eco, not only are we working hard to help refugee women, but we are also bringing about sustainable change and tackling the problem of food waste. The world produces an estimated 1.3 billion tons of food waste annually. Moreover, the UK throws away 9.5 million tons of food waste in a single year, even though 8.4 million people in the UK are in food poverty.
At Enactus KCL, we firmly believe that nothing is truly waste until we waste it. We recognize the value in repurposing discarded materials and finding innovative ways to turn them into something useful. Therefore, we wanted to come up with a solution to tackle both of these pressing issues.
At Equo, we address these problems by employing refugee women to hand-make all natural soaps by incorporating fruit and veg that would have otherwise gone to the bin, and further reinvesting all the proceeds for their development. Through Equo, we want to create a community, a safe space for women to help them socially and economically integrate into our society.
We have partnered up with ASDA to obtain unsold produce that would normally be discarded. Refugee women will then use this waste to produce the soaps in the NGO, and the soaps are then sold across 4 KCL campuses and various local markets around London. Lastly, all the proceeds generated will be reinvested into compensation and development programs for women.
We are working towards achieving 4 Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goal 5 and 10, which are focused on reducing inequalities, 11, which is about sustainable communities and cities, and 12, reasonable consumption and production.
The impact we want to have on the women is for them to feel fully at home, welcomed, and empowered to be able to sustain themselves financially. We aim to do this by providing them with a need-based compensation package and reducing barriers to social integration by creating a community through development and support programs such as language and empowerment courses, leadership and confidence training, and personal finance and well-being sessions.
We aim to directly impact the lives of 5 women as we start, indirectly impacting over 40 women with our partner NGO. We believe that the quality of our help has greater value when we are targeting a small number of women.
From April, we are planning to sell approximately 1,400 soaps over a year, which will generate £7,000, and this will be reinvested into helping refugee women rebuild their lives. Also, through incorporating bananas, we aim to offset 19.2 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions per year.
Our business model involves selling the soap at a retail price between £4 to £6, which is based on a consumer survey conducted without a target market. All the profits are then reinvested into compensation and development programs for the women.
We have produced and sold our first few batches of our soap at 3 university stalls, which generated £160 and a further £228 from selling at a Brick Lane market stalls and through friends. We are finalizing a partnership with an NGO and hoping to conduct our first workshop at the end of this month.
Our action plan for the coming years involves conducting needs assessment for the refugee women, development programs, increasing our online presence and product range. In the future, we aim to venture into B2B partnerships to have a more sustainable business model.
We aim for women to have a safe community, feel part of the society, and be able to rebuild their lives with dignity.
Enactus KCL has focused on the Sustainable Development Goal, ethical consumption and production as a main priority for providing alternatives to products which are polluting the planet for the past 15 years. However, our goal for the upcoming year is to diversify the portfolio of Sustainable Development Goals while staying true to the brand of Enactus KCL.
Nexicath is the next generation catheter which will address a long-standing problem of catheter-associated urinary tract infections in clinical and hospital environments.
Imagine if someone you loved or cared about was hospitalized due to difficulty passing and controlling their urine. It's a distressing situation, but you trust that the doctors and healthcare professionals will take good care of them. However, things take a turn for the worst when they undergo catheterization, a procedure where a thin tube is inserted to help empty their bladder. While the procedure may seem routine, complications can arise and have devastating consequences. In this scenario, the patient health begins to deteriorate only a week after the operation, which can ultimately lead to their tragic passing. It's heartbreaking to think that a medical device meant to help save a life can have such dire consequences.
Unfortunately, this is not an isolated event. In the UK and around the world, the use of traditional urinary catheters often leads to infections and complications, putting patients' lives at risk. We cannot allow this to continue. Here at Nexicath, we are a team of medical and PhD students developing the next generation of urinary catheters to help save lives, reduce hospital costs, and fight antibiotic resistance, so tragedies like these can never happen again. On average, 25% of all hospitalized patients require catheterization, which causes up to 50% of all urinary tract infections, called CAUTIs. CAUTIs contribute to the global problem of antibiotic resistance. This is often fatal, with approximately 2,100 deaths in the UK annually. As you can imagine, developing subsequent infections lengthens the patient's stay in the hospital, with each CAUTI episode costing £1,700 per patient, resulting in a sum total of £2 billion spent on this very problem every year.
Compared to our competitors, we aim to engineer every aspect of the catheter to reduce bacterial proliferation and reduce infection. Furthermore, we want to enter the market at a lower price whilst increasing effectiveness to give us an edge in the market. The current catheter market is estimated to be worth roughly $1.1 billion and is expected to grow by at least 7% annually until 2027. Our end users are patients that require catheterization, with 2.2 million units of catheters used in the UK each year. Since designing our product and founding Nexicath, we have won the Imperial Seed Fund, produced our prototype. We have also assembled an advisory board consisting of several consultant urologists and doctors.
Nexicath has just been accepted into the Nucleate program and is now focusing seed funding through VCs and angel investors. The aim is to perform testing to assess the prototype before applying for patents and obtaining MHRA approval. Additionally, we have established a separate project known as Nexa Educate. Our aim is to establish a partnership with different state schools in the UK in hopes of speaking to students about pursuing a STEM degree. This will include information about why pursuing a STEM degree is useful, potential job prospects, and the impact it will have on your personal development.
In the past, STEM subjects have been harder for children and young people to access, particularly students from disadvantaged backgrounds. By speaking to the students, we hope to encourage engagement with science to break down socio and cultural barriers towards obtaining STEM degrees.
Beyond ECO and Nexicat, we have a wide range of other impact-driven social enterprises. Our portfolio includes TerraU, our terrarium startup designing personality-based ecosystems for our consumers in London.
UNV, our clothing upcycling initiative determined to give clothes a new life through innovative designs.
Vitae, formerly known as Hydrogrow, our sustainable agri-tech startup creating at-home smart gardens to provide nutrients back into people's diets, which is affordable and accessible.
And Rescue Glass, our upcycling initiative determined to reinvent the use of glass to avoid it going to landfill.
This year, the committed work of our members on high innovation projects has finally paid off, and we have no plan of stopping there.
Since April 2022, we have made £70,000 in total revenue and plan to further expand our projects through fundraising events, applying for various grants, selling products at different market stalls, and through e-commerce platforms. We plan to continue to strengthen and establish new relationships with beneficiaries and introduce new social-based projects.
We believe that every individual can make a difference, and together, we can achieve incredible things.
As we continue to work towards creating sustainable change, we invite you to join us on this journey.
Let us come together, inspire each other, and take action towards a better tomorrow.
We are the change of our community. We are Enactus KCL.